On 22nd of October 2003, 26-year-old Tina Watson was on honeymoon with her husband Gabe Watson. They had been married for just 11 days in Alabama, United States, where they lived, but little did she know that it was her last day. After their wedding, Gabe and Tina flew to Sydney in Australia. Then they left to go to Townsville and they arrived there on the October 21st. Gabe had, prior to his departure from the United States, contacted a diving company. He arranged a dive trip for him and Tina to do. The dive trip was to the historic shipwreck Yongala on the motor vessel Spoilsport. Gabe and Tina brought their own diving equipment, while the company provided the air tanks. After putting on their gear, they joined 4 others and entered the water to start their dive. However, just a few minutes later, Gabe and Tina returned to the Spoilsport. Gabe mentioned an issue with his dive computer, which he wore like a watch on his wrist. He adjusted the batteries, and then he and Tina went back into the water to begin their dive. Just minutes later, Gabe surfaced, seeking help, not for himself, but for Tina. One of the dive organizers dove down, found Tina, brought her to the surface, and onto one of the boats. He attempted to resuscitate her for 45 minutes, but it was futile. Tina was dead. When the police interviewed Gabe, they grew suspicious. Tina was not an experienced diver, raising questions about why she was on such a dive and why they had declined the offer of a guide. They had twice refused orientation dives with instructors during the trip. Gabe explained that they were caught by a current and, while trying to return to the anchor line, Tina accidentally knocked his mask off. He let go of her to fix it. In that brief moment, Tina sank 10 feet and continued to descend, with her arms raised. Gabe attempted to reach her, but she was out of his grasp. He then surfaced to get help. A dive organizer went down, retrieved Tina, and brought her onto one of the boats. While efforts to resuscitate Tina continued for 45 minutes, Gabe remained on a different boat from the one his wife was on. Another concerning revelation emerged. Despite Gabe being certified as an open-water scuba diver, an advanced diver, rescue diver, and specialty diver, he made no attempt to assist his wife. Upon comparing Gabe's narrative with the data from his dive computer, police found discrepancies. Additionally, fellow divers who were present during the dive reported witnessing Gabe in a bear hug with Tina just before she started descending. However, the police needed to determine why a man married for only 11 days would want his wife dead. They believed they found a motive: money. Tina's father revealed that shortly before her marriage, Tina told him that Gabe had asked her to increase her company insurance to the maximum and designate him as the beneficiary. The coroner examined several factors. Gabe, who was Tina's dive buddy, did not inflate her buoyancy control device or remove her weight belt, nor did he share his alternative air source with her. Additionally, when Tina was brought to the surface, her regulator was still in her mouth, her tank still contained air, and tests showed no issues with her equipment. During the inquest, prosecutors presented evidence showing that Gabe's story conflicted with the data recorded by his dive computer. They believed Gabe turned off Tina's regulator, held her until she lost consciousness, then turned the air back on and let her sink before surfacing. This account aligned with other divers' reports of seeing a bear hug. The autopsy revealed that Tina drowned and showed evidence of an air embolism. Gabe was charged with murder in Australia but pleaded guilty to manslaughter. The judge sentenced him to 4 years in prison, to be suspended after serving 12 months, which was later increased to 18 months on appeal. After serving his sentence, Gabe was deported to the United States. Upon arrival, he was immediately arrested and charged with murder. Prosecutors in Alabama asserted jurisdiction to try him for murder, believing he had planned the crime while still in the United States. Following Tina's death, Gabe remarried, and his new wife supported him during the trial. The prosecution argued that Gabe did not ascend as quickly as he could have, indicating his intent to kill Tina. They claimed he turned off her air supply just long enough to kill her before turning it back on. The prosecution also submitted a photo into evidence, taken by another diver, which showed Tina lying motionless in the background. The prosecution argued that Gabe's motive was financial, seeking to benefit from Tina's insurance. Tina told him that she put him as the beneficiary, but in fact Tina never did. In their opening statement at the trial, however, The defense asserted that Gabe received no money and had no reason to kill Tina, as he loved her. They claimed her death was a tragic accident. When the prosecution rested, the defense requested that the court dismiss the case due to lack of evidence. The judge dismissed the murder case, a decision that surprised many. Some believe Gabe planned and executed his wife's murder in Australia, while others think her death was accidental, noting that drowning and air embolism are common causes of diving fatalities. A particularly shocking aspect of the case emerged after Tina's death. Tina's parents reported to the police that flowers and gifts left on her grave were being vandalized and removed. Despite securing them with chains, the vandalism continued. A hidden camera at the grave revealed that Gabe was using bolt cutters to remove the items, which he then discarded in trash cans. What do you think happened to Tina? For more videos, please subscribe and give this video a thumbs up.